Agreed. Well, we're in the last episode, guys. The last evening that we have for season one together of Twin Peaks. And that's what this
This
episode's
is
called.
this is just season one, dude. It's only the beginning.
It's the last evening, but we're gonna have a new dawn of
This is
season
this
two.
is this is the first gumming. We have
Gumming.
yet, we have yet to get to the return.
Coming, dude.
The second gumming.
Second gumming of
The
Goose.
second coming, dude. He will gum again.
Oh, that gummy
Enjoys the living of the dead.
is gonna come back in style.
Yeah, I just wanted to kick it off right away so we can get into this. Because after we watch this first or this last episode, we're gonna jump into Blue Velvet, which is very much related to Twin Peaks in a lot of different ways. So we have to stay tuned for that as we finish up Twin Peaks. We're gonna jump into other mediums from the old Lynchy boy.
Now we can make a direct line, like a 6 degrees kind of thing between Buffalo Bill and anything Twin Peaks or Blue Velvet or David Lynch. Because you got him directing Anthony Hopkins in The Elephant Man, and then you have Anthony Hopkins directly, alongside James Gum.
Gum gum.
Gum, gum, gum.
That looks like a wall.
It's a wall in Jacoby's abode.
His domicile.
His living quarters. And
His yurt. Oh no, guys, what the heck happened?
Oh, baby, mom's got. Oh no.
I know.
Oh no.
I can't
I
believe
love how
it.
just-
no.
I
I love how
know.
just cut and dry that ending is. Or it's just pew pew credits.
Yeah.
Boom, boom.
I mean, that's the way to do
Great.
it, man.
Yeah.
Get in and get out.
There's no ceremony. It's just. Oh, sorry.
I gotta
Leave
talk to
them
Diane.
wanting more.
It's just so abrupt. I love it.
It was. It's just like
Almost
to be
almost
continued.
comical.
Well, it's like
Well,
it's such a
It really
like
honestly
a
is
trope.
comical.
It's a trope. Huh? Boom, boom.
It's just a middle finger from everybody on the production side, just like,
Yeah.
fuck you.
Fuck you, dude. What the hell?
You want to watch serialized television? Here you go.
All in all, this was a lot of phone calls.
Yeah, a
So
lot
many-
of phone calls this episode.
So many
Oh my
phone
gosh.
calls. People are like,
So
"Hey,
many
go
phone
here,
calls.
go here, go kill this guy. Hey, this guy's gonna be here. Go kill him."
This
All right.
this was like realization time part 2, or like extra credit.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody is snooping on everybody. Everybody is freaking tattling, and this is like the best laid plans of mice and men. You know what I mean?
Telephone.
Right.
She's standing by the telephone booth.
What do you think? What do you think happens when like a small mystery that doesn't revolve around the death of a beloved high school student, like if a cat goes missing? What do you think happens in Twin Peaks? How weird does it get?
Yeah. Yeah, maybe the cat is another entity.
Or,
You
or
know?
like just the most mundane, small little mysteries, dude. I just kind of get the feeling that like this is not an isolated incident. Like beyond somebody being murdered and all the stuff with Bob and all that. Like I just feel like this town lives on a hair trigger that's just waiting to spiral some direction.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those towns. It's definitely one of those towns that writers want to make bigger than normal, but make it really quaint. It's like, hey, it's a really quaint town, but weird shit happens here. So that's why like the people who live here know how to deal with this shit, and like you just got to let them do it because they're all like communicating with each other in weird ways.
Yeah, nobody is sitting still. Every single person is a busybody and like
Yep.
has stuff that they're doing, and like it's it almost feels like some of these people don't have jobs or any school to go to or anything to do. Their whole existence is their little schemes.
Their schemes, their sleuth things, their money, their gumming, their coffee.
Vermin. Their steins, their ornate steins.
Their steins, their mirrors.
So as a season finale, how do you think this rates?
It pays off a lot. You wanted to see the showdown with Bobby and Leo, and you got that.
Did you? Was that something we were all waiting
I
for and anticipating?
well, he talked some big talk. Bobby was like, "Leo's done. I'm gonna end him."
I feel like it was like the writing was on the wall for sure because of how many scenes they had of like Bobby and Shelley together, and either one of them saying something about like, "Oh, you better be sure that Leo's gone," or "Where's Leo?" or "Don't worry about Leo." Like that was always being thrown in our face.
Yeah,
It
and
just seems like I don't know, like a little bit strange that this is when the confrontation happens, and it's because of he caught him snooping, and it almost seemed like it would have been because of the drug stuff, not just because of kissing.
true. But I know that that was part of Bobby's mission too, was to somehow get rid of Leo. Because I think Bobby was deathly afraid of Leo. Leo is just a nutcase.
Yeah, for sure.
And then this
Yeah,
scene, like this was kind of like a tropey thing too, to have like, oh, poor damsel in distress, and then who's her hero? She's
And
like, who the fuck are you?
this in and of itself, Shelley being tied up and like, yeah, put like she's like one step away from being tied to train tracks, you know.
Yep.
And this whole thing is so separate from every other person in the town and all the other events that are happening. The only person to come across her in this situation is Catherine, and they're like the most like you would never expect these two characters to cross paths. There's no reason for
Yeah,
them to.
that's kind of crazy too, because normally everybody's in the diner or like at the mill or doing something related to those two places. So it's like she never goes to the diner, and she never goes to the mill. So it's kind of interesting that right here now they're like talking like, who are you? "Oh, I'm Shelley Johnson."
I'm Shelley Johnson. Yeah, Catherine probably has no reason to know who that would be, or that like, you know, she would, or that could be a name that would ring a bell. It's just like they both live such isolated lives for such different reasons.
Yeah, I want to see if those were stunt doubles. Right?
Maybe they were stunt triples, dude.
Maybe. Right here.
Yes. Yes. Look at the person under the Catherine wig. Clearly
know.
not Piper Laurie.
Yeah.
Well,
That's not Piper at all. That's not her
look
hair.
at the Shelley's bigger than.
I was gonna say, look
It's
at
a-
this
it's a
Shelley
dude.
fucking wig.
Let's get the fuck out of here.
Get out of here, Catherine.
That's funny. All right.
God,
Cat.
we saw your beard.
We
The
saw
same
your
PA
bulge.
who had to wear the dress for that one Polaroid.
Yeah, it's the same dude. It's the same
So-
PA or the best boy.
Does this serve well as like not only does this have to wrap up like yes, this is something, this follows the last episode, right? Like every episode in this show kind of builds on the coming ones and everything like that. Like even if we're not getting nuggets that are directly related to the mystery, we're still getting like, oh, another layer in the love triangle here, or
Yeah.
Nadine being mad at Ed and creating this circumstance or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So like this episode not only has to serve as the finale to the first half of a story, but also like to the episode that came before it, and then any other loose ends that they're really trying to tie up in the first half of the story. Because it also does a lot to set up stuff. Because
It does.
clearly,
I was going to
we
say
talked
that.
about a little bit in the next episode. We get like a line from Lucy or whatever, she's like, "This happened, and this happened, and this happened, and this happened."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it does a pretty good job about setting more stuff up.
Does it? I don't know that this because we don't end with the only thing that we like. Some of the biggest revelations from this episode are like, oh, we saw Leland murder a guy. Catherine and Shelley might be in danger, and Leo got shot. Like, and then what happened to Dale too.
Yeah, I think it's kind of interesting that everybody's going to be in the hospital next time we see them. Like Nadine is going to be in the hospital with Ed waiting there, and and Coop's going to be like, yeah, I don't need to be there because I had a bulletproof vest or something.
Harry, the power of acute thinking and physical willpower. Yeah, but this episode does not cover things that one might expect it to. Like,
Yeah,
you
we got
might
the Ghostwood.
expect-
We got Ghostwood boys.
I mean,
Some Ghostwood,
but
dude.
that's still something in development too.
Yeah, that's a
They
Dude,
sign
weird
Ghostwood's
waivers.
always in development, bro. It's
Always cooking.
We could
Even in the
Oh,
afterlife,
it's
I'm
cooking.
still going, baby. But like, what I mean is, you would almost expect season 1. Cool. We are probably going to see who killed Laura. Like, they're going to wrap that part of it up, or we're going to get some really big answer in some way, shape, or form.
right.
I don't know that we really got anything like that, but they definitely added more stuff to the stew for us to have those answers in season 2.
We do have potential, like as far as we have the knowledge and the foresight of what is going to happen and who the actual killer is, but as a viewer, as this happens, we have some speculations to go off of. When this finale happens, we can be like, well, it's definitely going to be like Hank, right? Or like Hank probably could have killed Laura, or like Leo is still a potential candidate, and like those are still in the forefront of these people's mind. Like, there was a lot of people involved probably with Laura's death at the time that this was aired. But as it goes on, it gets more convoluted and a little bit messy, but there's still tangible things for the audience to latch onto and speculate on.
Yeah, like Leo's in no, not Leo. Jacques is in custody and like was arrested for the suspected. Like, we've got somebody in custody, so that's something.
Mm-hmm.
But I think for me at least, like looking at something like a mystery or trying to figure out like who might be a suspect, I'm typically trying to look out for like, sure, I may not know these people, so I wouldn't know what is like necessarily out of the ordinary for them, but I know what kind of behavior is typically in any situation going to be considered out of the ordinary. So whoever's doing that kind of stuff is somebody to look at,
Exactly.
And who's the person that's been doing the most behavior that's out of the ordinary in any situation, so this like last episode we got something, we had them doing some shots and like using that in a way, and in this it's kind of also happening with his little interaction with Jacques in the hospital there.
Mm-hmm.
But you could still be thinking like, wow, this guy's really going off the deep end with his grief over the death of his daughter, and not have further thought into that.
that was a big thing. They kind of left that hanging for a while, that this dude's gonna kill, because as an audience member, you're like, yeah, he's getting justice for his daughter because that's the only lead he has. Be like, you had something to do with my daughter's death. I'm gonna smother you.
And maybe that's a good way to throw people off.
It is, yeah. That's
we only are able to see his actions through a specific set of circumstances and not extrapolate our minds into further things.
exactly. Broad show. The
What?
Dream Soul didn't show up tonight.
No, dude.
You made it. I'm proud.
Make your daddy proud.
Make it proud.
Well, how are you feeling as far as like the mood and the setting? Is it all like kind of hitting you?
Oh yeah, dude. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, the ghost
It's hit me good. The ghost ones hit me good, dude. No, yeah, it's yeah, the episode just, obviously cranks things up, and then it just maintained a good tone throughout. You had a lot of, like, whereas we had a couple episodes beforehand that were like just kind of chill, building intrigue episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, this one was cranked up to 11 as far as like stuff that's happening, not necessarily consistent action, but like there's just stuff constantly happening in the episode, so it makes a very entertaining watch. And
it's a really good
fucking I forgot too that the season ends with fucking Dale getting fucking bippity bapped. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I was like, oh yeah, shit.
That is a good point. Like, there may not be like the most exciting stuff happening in this episode, and even in the last episode, there was stuff popping off. But like,
yeah,
it is a far cry from us standing in a gazebo with James and Donna, or just like hovering around them in her parents' house, or these just like like the dialogue scenes between Bobby and his dad, and like stuff around the funeral. Like those were much more kind of tepid episodes in a way.
Mm-hmm.
This definitely was a good dialing up of like, hey, you want stuff happening? Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, there's fire. There's gunshots. Yeah, I mean, a bird died in the last episode, but
there's Nadine too. That was a big like impactful moment.
Yeah, very odd thing for her to do. Yeah.
Yeah, like we may not understand her, but we can certainly sympathize with some things that we see her expressing, maybe.
Yep. Yeah, for sure.
And I have never been in a situation like that of being like, oh, I married this person, but I'm secretly in love with this person, but like all those weird intricacies.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can imagine that some people might have sympathized with that of like, yeah, you want to see you. I think a lot of people want to see Ed and Norma get together, regardless of like your legal married status, and
yep,
you want to see that true love blossom. But then you also feel for Nadine, and you feel for Ed for his like clear consternation of caring for Nadine, certainly, but maybe not in the same way as he does.
Not until we come back to the show, because we don't know the history of Ed and Nadine and how she got her eye shot out, right? And he does a good job of telling that story, but in the presence of Albert, and Albert's just like, okay.
I don't think I asked, but yeah, okay. Well,
he's like laughing the whole time. He's like, shit.
No, we don't have that context, but we do have in the scenes that they share together of Ed and Nadine. She is certainly chaotic and at times pretty aggressive towards him, if not outright kind of nasty.
Yeah, I think she does resent him a little bit.
He treats her with fairness and kindness and at least patience, and doesn't like get angry.
Well, come on, no. He just got down on his knee and he started slapping the shit out of her.
Well, I mean, yeah, he was
I'm just saying that was just a weird. That was
yeah,
funny.
yeah, it was funny. But like he's patient with her and he's
Yeah,
kind
he
of he's
is.
understanding of like, okay, this is who she is. I'm not gonna like get angry just because this is who Nadine is. So
Right.
so
He
at
probably
least
feels like responsible for her attitude, maybe too. It's like, yeah,
I
just
mean, yeah.
I got to deal with this. Yeah.
But at least we see that side of kindness in Big Ed where we're like understanding and being able to sympathize a little bit more with some multiple sides of that triangle.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like Donna and James where they're just young kids who seem like they're like playing at the Scooby Doo gang or something, you know?
Yep. Yep. Let's sneak into a doctor's office and steal his shit. Steal his coconut. Cool. Let's do it. Get on my
That's-
Harley without
That's
your
funny
helmet.
too. We have 2 episodes back to back where characters like put on wigs and disguises and like pull little heists or like ruses.
Yeah. One thing we did not get a lot of that I wanted, but it was kind of nice to have a little bit of interaction towards the end of with Log Lady. Maybe setting something up with her to kind of get people more interested. But she kind of served her purpose, like when she was like, "All right, guys, sit down. I'm gonna have my log talk to you now." That kind of led them down this path. But like, I wanted to see more of her. Like the log's gotta say a bit more. But that's the only thing that this finale was missing was that log.
That log.
Yeah, I mean we're definitely going to get
There were
more.
some logs in here though.
Yeah.
We're always surrounded by logs. I mean, look at the scene we're in right now. Dale's surrounded by them.
That's right.
And as we know, there are spirits attached to, or the capability for this wood to be like spirit medium kind of substance, you know.
Yeah, what was the tree again? I forget. Ash? No.
Well,
Douglas firs, right?
yeah, he says that's the pine trees that are growing around the area.
Right. And then Cooper really likes that. He's like, whoa, Douglas firs.
Douglas fir. So we're definitely going to get more Log Lady in season 2, and a good chunk more in Fire Walk with Me. And season 2 is where she's really going to start, and it's going to start coming up more and more of like the owls are not what they seem, and we're gonna start like going into like Owl Cave and the connections to the Black Lodge and Wyndham Earl and X, Y, and Z. We're gonna get more of stuff in the Red Room outside of the finale. And Annie's gonna show up.
Yeah. But before we get into all that, we have some unfinished business with putting on our best blue velvet. We have a 1986 film by David Lynch, starring Kyle MacLachlan, Laura Dern,
1980 Dicks, too.
Dennis Hopper,
Isabella Rossellini. Isn't she in this?
Isabella Rossellini. Yeah, and it's a hit. It'll be an interesting watch after watching this, I would say, and then definitely we'll get into Fire Walk with Me sometime in the middle of maybe season 2. But yeah.